Song Revolution with John Chisum on the NRT Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, it's that time again. Merry Christmas season to you, and thanks so much for tuning in to the Song Revolution again this week. It's just such a cool thing to have you here, and I hope that you'll take a minute to leave us a great review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you stream podcasts. And maybe share this episode with your social networks and share the love. And remember, it's about more than songs around here, y'all. It's about living a better life. And that's the reason that I do the show, to help us all live into the deeper reality of God's love. Whether we're songwriters or not, I think this show has a lot of value even for non-songwriters, or at least that's what I tell myself. I want to bring a lot of value. So thanks for being here and being part of our podcast family. As I look back on this year, I see many great episodes and just so many awesome interviews with some extremely talented people that maybe you haven't heard of, but whom I believe bring great value to our lives in one way or the other. And that's why we're here, to deepen our sense of God's presence and bring greater value. That's the word of the day, I guess, to ourselves and to everyone around us. And ultimately, to make the world a better place as we write, develop our talents and our gifts to become better communicators of the good news of Jesus. We do that by ramping up our abilities to continue to grow. And that's what it's all about for me, to keep growing in every age and stage of my life, to be a lifelong learner. I mean, if I can feel like I'm learning, then I feel like I'm growing. And any day I'm learning and growing is a great day to me. And that's why I do this show for you. There's just so much to share with you about how you can grow into your highest abilities to write about the love of Jesus. The Gospels say that the world itself isn't big enough to contain all the books if everything that Jesus did and said were written. So what makes us think that we could ever exhaust the mysteries of God? And then, music itself is just an endlessly fascinating subject and a discipline that we could never fully conquer. I think we'll be eternally discovering the trillions and trillions of facets to God's nature. So that I feel so called to keep growing in my understanding of God and to help you want to grow too. It's one thing to say that you want to be a great Christian songwriter, but often our motivations are more about ourselves than about God and His purposes. But that's a subject for another podcast, another day. But that's why we do the show, and why we have blogs and articles and other great resources for you over at our site at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. We've got videos and ebooks and 3 premium coaching programs, including our NCS Pro Song Mastery 8-week online coaching experience that helps you gain clarity, confidence, and level up your craft to pro level. And it's all based on my 40 years of professional Christian music business and songwriting success. My life is dedicated now to pouring out every bit of that success and all the insights I have from a lifetime of songwriting for you. I really want you to reach your highest calling. So you can check out everything over at the site, and you can even set up a free discovery call with me to talk about your songwriting and your call. So I invite you to check all that out, and let's connect soon. All right, well, it's Christmas time again. Where did this year go? It seems like it was just January, and now here we are bumping into January again. I don't know, did the year go by super fast for you too, or is it just me? Well, it's been a big year around here at NCS as we've coached hundreds of great songwriters, and we've launched a new artist development program that we're so excited about in conjunction with newreleasetoday.com, the premier online Christian media outlet that's been connecting artists with audiences for over 20 years. And my partner there is the founder and president, Kevin McNeese, and we're having a great time coaching aspiring Christian artists toward building their new platforms and taking massive action toward getting themselves out into the world with the gospel. It's just been amazing to work with a bluegrass artist, some CCM artists, and now even a female Irish rocker and a group of college-age worship songwriters and leaders really beginning to have a tremendous impact with their songs. We launched a publishing company and a production company, and we've seriously been busy making the music that we keep telling you that you can make. We're actually doing what we keep telling you that you can do, and that is make the music that you've only dreamed about making. It's all happening right here at NCS, and that's what we're here to do, to help you. And I'm so grateful that the fruit of this year is so deep and sweet. As I think back on the music we've been part of writing and recording and releasing, music that has a real chance of impacting the world at a very high level. And that's the greatest Christmas present that I can have, to look back on 23 and see the dozens of songs we've been part of, not only bringing into the world, but we've been part of helping produce and record and release these songs. And we're helping so many people launch their ministries and careers. And that's the fulfillment of my lifetime of making music with a lot of the greatest Christian worship writers and leaders and artists and producers. It's just amazing. And I want you to know that I and we are here to help you make the greatest music of your life, whether you're just beginning or you feel like you're seasoned as a songwriter or artist. And there's always room to grow and more people to reach. So I'm grateful this Christmas season that I feel God has blessed me so much to be part of this company and to lead a community of dedicated Christian songwriters and artists who are really determined to make it all happen with God's help. So this year, I've also released my first Christmas single called "Oh Night Divine" that I co-wrote with one of my NCS Pro Song Mastery clients, Leanne Shade from Lima, Ohio. Leanne, I hope you're listening because I want to brag on you and God a little bit about this song. "Oh Night Divine" is kind of a blend of James Taylor and Chris Bodie on the trumpet and a kind of mellow, timeless feel with some beautifully lush strings that were arranged by a Ukrainian arranger now exiled in France because of the war. Maybe we can play it here on the show, or you can check the link or go to Spotify and Apple and look up my name and look up "Oh Night Divine." But this song demonstrates some important things for me that I want to reflect on here for a few minutes to encourage you in your own songwriting. First of all, there's always room for one more great Christmas song. It's easy to think that everything's been written that can be written about Christmas, but that's just not true. There's always one more fresh way to share the story of the advent of Christ. You just have to think deeper in how to write about it. A lazy mind is an uncreative mind, and being a great songwriter demands something of you, namely that you stop assuming that you know how to do it and you humble yourself to learn more ways to think about your craft and add more and more creative and practical skills to be a better communicator. It's all right here for you if you just reach out to take hold of them. It's easy to dream and to fantasize about being a great writer, but yet never take any steps to really become one. A book publisher once told me that the number one reason that wannabe authors aren't published is because they never write their books. So I would echo that for aspiring songwriters too. It's just too easy to wish and much harder to do. So it's up to you to get up off your blessed assurance and get busy about the Father's business and practice the discipline of excellent songwriting. So let's celebrate this year and all God's accomplished in us, but let's also look ahead into the next year and make some plans to bring our songwriting dreams to life in any way that we have the grace to do. You might want to check out our coaching programs to give you a huge boost in your songwriting skills, or maybe you want to read some books or listen to the many back episodes in this podcast for insights and inspiration. It's all just right there for you. There are just so many ways that you can choose to grow in your craft, and then watch as your skills grow and you learn to express yourself at a level you've wanted for a long time. And I understand that completely. I remember being just 18 years old and newly come to life in Christ. And the first thing I longed to do was to write a song to share with the world. And that was over 400 published songs ago. And it's still the number one thing that I long to do and pour myself into every day. So Leanne Shade came into our NCS Pro Song Mastery program after hanging around on the edges of our NCS community for a year or two. And she went through the 8-week coaching experience and started catching a vision for what pro-level songwriting really was. And she's a determined woman, and she wanted even more coaching with me after that. So she signed up for my one-on-one coaching experience. We began to meet weekly to go deeper into her creativity and building skills that she needed, like understanding current song form, crafting killer hooks, how to build melodies that support your lyrics, and so much more. And I will often co-write with my individual clients as part of mentoring, and showing how it really works. And one day Leanne brought a Christmas lyric she'd been working on for us to look at. And the gist of what she had written was about God's bigger design and plan that Jesus be born to Mary in Bethlehem and how holy that night was. And one of the phrases stood out to me, "O night divine," which is a kind of a reference to the classic "O Holy Night," but that phrase stood out as a possible hook for the chorus. So we put all the general information about that beautiful night in the verses, and we stripped the chorus all the way down to that one sweet phrase, "O night divine," and it just felt right. It's so simple and stark that it just makes you pay attention to it. And it goes, "O night divine, O night divine," and that's it. I repeat that a couple of times. But I don't know, I've always loved Audrey Assad's gorgeous song, Winter Snow, that Chris Tomlin covered, and it kind of became a model for us. If you don't know Winter Snow, go look it up. It's just beautiful. And there's nothing in our song that sounds like Winter Snow, but the general approach, the feel, and the tempo are in that general direction without ever sounding like it lyrically or melodically, and not even in the chord patterns. It's just a feel kind of a thing. That song was kind of an inspiration for us, and we were kind of drawing from it. And I recommend that for you too. As you're writing, instead of just trying to pull things out of your head, go find a model song that does what you want your song to do, and then kind of work with that, right? It centers your song in a specific genre and makes it more identifiable rather than just being some random kind of a thing. And it's also a great place for your producer to start. If you kind of know this is a model song, a producer's always going to ask for that. Another thing that I love about "O Night Divine" is that we accomplish a lot with very few words. The lyric is very sparse. The first verse is, "Wise men and shepherds looked for a king. Stars and hosts of heaven filled the sky. The earth awaiting a promised child, so long foretold this holy night. Oh, night divine." Easy. Overwriting lyrics is one of the most common mistakes writers make. So when you can say something powerful in fewer words, you're doing the world a favor. You're saving your breath and probably the rainforest by using fewer words in your songs. I get it. You really want people to understand your message, and you think more words will make that happen, but it really doesn't. In almost every case, less is more, right, when it comes to lyric writing. So be aware of how long your lines are and see if you can economize somehow. The rainforest will love you for it. Well, I love "O Night Divine," and I'm so proud of Leanne Shade for how far she's come in her songwriting, and it's such a privilege to be part of her songwriting journey. Leanne, I love this song so much, and I love it so much I recorded it and released it on November 17th this year. And you can go listen on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere you stream music, and we'll put it in the show notes as well. And Leanne, I just really appreciate your sharing it with your family and friends this Christmas season as part of your journey. And I don't know, just to say it again, there's always room for one more great Christmas song in the world. Maybe you can tap into the inspiration of this Christmas season and jot down some new title ideas or work on a verse or two from something from a fresh angle in your own heart's journey that could make the truth of Jesus come at Christmas time, come alive again, either for yourself or for those who might hear your song one day. And just like our song was a nod back to O Holy Night, it doesn't hurt to grab a hymnal to flip through for ideas or jump online and read through classic Christmas lyrics and find short phrases like we did to build your song around. It's all about finding a fresh way to say the things that we've said for years in an authentic and emotional way to bring it all to life again. It really is about using your imagination to breathe freshness into the ideas and phrases that we've heard all of our lives. And if you don't think it's possible, just look at the hundreds of writers that do it every day, and they somehow come out with amazing new fresh songs that we never would have thought of. So maybe that's my Christmas prayer for you, that your holy imagination would be expanded to think and see beyond all the self-imposed limitations that you've placed on yourself. I know I've done that plenty of times, and may this Christmas season remind you of the ever-indwelling presence of Christ in your heart and open you to new realms of fresh titles and lyrics and melodies that can open many others to the truth of Christ that you've experienced deep in your heart, because that's why we're here, right? Well, I know that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for that first touch of God's love when I was 18. It just never goes away, and it's my number one motivation every day to get up out of bed and reach out to you. I believe that you felt it too, and that His love is at the core of your desire to write songs, or maybe even to become a Christian artist. So I want to invite you to become part of the growing number of dedicated Christian songwriters and artists who are part of the greater NCS community, who are sharing their gifts and talents through NCS. I want to invite you to enjoy our podcast and our coaching programs, and to make this new year the year that you break through. I've put a link in the show notes. You can just set up a call with me and we can talk and see if NCS Pro Song Mastery is your next right step. And if it's not, that's cool. We want to point you any direction we can. Or maybe our new artist development program to help give you all you need to launch or grow or build your Christian artist career and have the impact that you feel God wants you to have. And of course, you'll find the link to the new Christmas single, O Night Divine, co-written by me and NCS Mastery student Leanne Shade in the show notes. So here's another shout out, Leanne. Well done. And again, please like and share this episode of the Song Revolution with all of your friends and family, and tune in again soon. So keep yourself encouraged and growing in your ministry in whatever way you can, and may this Christmas season be your best ever. I'm John Chisum. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show today. I hope that you'll jump over to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com and check out all the resources there to encourage you in your own songwriting. And if you like what we're doing, why not share this episode out on your socials? You can find the link in the show notes. We'll see you next time.